This is a critical week for the president in his effort to get and keep support for his plan. Meetings taking place just as the House Republicans are about to push Wyoming Congresswoman Liz Cheney out of the leadership for daring to reject the big lie that Trump somehow won the election and for insisting Trump's rhetoric played a role in the January 6th riot and insurrection. This past weekend, House GOP leader Kevin McCarthy publicly backed Cheney's likely replacement, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik of upstate New York. Today, he sent this letter to Republicans in the House 2 days ahead of this vote to remove Cheney from her post. He wrote part, quote, "These internal conflicts need to be resolved so as not to detract from the efforts of our collective team. Having heard from so many of you in recent days, it's clear that we need to make a change. As such, you should anticipate a vote on recalling the conference chair this Wednesday. We are a big tent party, and unlike the left, we embrace free thought and debate." Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger of Illinois today offered this assessment of the Republican effort to oust Liz Cheney.
This is lies versus truth. What she is being removed for is making it uncomfortable and being consistent. And God bless her for having the consistency to tell the truth.
AB, because of your reporting in the past on this topic, I'm going to start with you. And I have something for you. Here is the Republican leader of the House 1 week after the riot and insurrection.
The president bears responsibility for Wednesday's attack on Congress by mob rioters. He should have immediately denounced the mob when he saw what was unfolding. These facts require immediate action by President Trump. Accept his share of responsibility, quell the brewing unrest, and ensure President-elect Biden is able to successfully begin his term.
Well, AB, forget about all that, said McCarthy, enjoying Mar-a-Lago. The question to you is, what happens to the Republican brand, especially in the House, after Wednesday? And what happens to Liz Cheney's career and trajectory after Wednesday?
Well, what's so interesting about Kevin McCarthy's walkback is that he doesn't care if we have video of the things that he said, and his colleagues reporting about the conversation he had on January 6th with President Trump, speaking at the top of his lungs in a shout, desperate for the president to de-escalate the situation, which he, of course, did not. So it's not just the comments he made on the floor and then his subsequent journey to Mar-a-Lago and the way he's tried to twist his words ever since. He is making a choice, obviously, to stick with President Trump. It is a short-term calculation. And Liz Cheney's calculation began months ago. She decided, and we can see from strategic leaking from Cheney World the last couple of days, that she was going to try to make her colleagues realize what a danger the big lie coming from the president was. And that began with actions even as early as January 3rd, when she convinced 10 living former secretaries of defense to write an op-ed warning that the military had no role in the resolution of political disputes and election disputes. She went on to circulate a memo to her colleagues about the danger of President Trump's big lie, 21 pages. That's all before January 6th. And ever since, she's been speaking out because of it. We now see leaks to the Washington Post, the New Yorker, and other places about these things that she's done and about her alarm at the fact that leadership is keeping negative polling about Donald Trump's toxicity in swing districts from their own members. So Liz Cheney did this knowing she would likely lose her leadership post and she would likely lose her seat in Wyoming. She is not going to be quiet now. And members realize that. One of them told me, no matter what we do, if we oust her, it makes it worse. The conversation's going to continue from Liz Cheney. The conversation's going to continue about us choosing a liar over someone telling the truth. None of this is going to go away after Wednesday, no matter what they do to her.
Wow, that's a lot. Phil Rucker, this is all the Republicans' own doing. Here's the gun. Here's your foot. Have at it. How does Biden play this moment?
You know, Brian, I think President Biden plays this moment the way he has been playing these tensions the last few weeks, which is to sit back and let the Republicans sort of act out their own play. There have been opportunities in the press briefings at the White House the last few weeks for the press secretary Jen Psaki to weigh in on these internal disputes within the Republican Party, and she's made any number of comments effectively saying it's interesting what's going on, but we don't claim to understand the Republican Party, and it's not really our place to comment on it. Look, President Biden is focused on executing his own agenda. He's got a new crisis regarding the ransomware attack that you just brought up, but he's also dealing with the vaccine rollout, with solving the vaccine hesitancy issue, with getting this infrastructure plan through. As interested as those in the White House are about what's going on inside the Republican conference, Biden knows that what matters to voters out in the country is what he's doing to try to deliver for them and their families, and he's trying to stay disciplined and focusing on that.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.